So I was just sitting here thinking, like, if you do you look at the glass half empty or half full? I was sitting here thinking, I was saying to myself, I like to think of the worst possibilities, right? I like to think of the worst possibilities because when the possibility shows up, then I would already understand, like I'll be able to fathom or deal with the worst possibility. But if it's a good possibility and I think it's worse, if it turns out to be better than what I thought, then it'll be like, yes. But if it turned out worse, I'll be like, oh, I already knew it. I already knew that was going to be happen like that. But I don't know. Comment down below and tell me what y'all think. But I was just sitting here talking to myself, like, okay, if I was to think, if I want to be big and famous and rich and just big, I want to be big, right? So the worst possibility is for me to give up, and that will never happen, or to keep going, and it will happen. So I'm thinking in my head, the worst thing to do is to give up, and the best thing to do is to keep going. So I fathom the fact that I can give up, but I don't want to give up because I already thought if I give up, then I'm not going to make it. But I know for sure that if I keep going, I'm going to make it. So it's like, I don't necessarily look at the glass half empty or half full. I look at it as it's just halfway done. Like I look at both sides of the table. I don't look at it like, oh, it's half full or it's half empty. I just look at it like, okay, it's only halfway full. Like it's only halfway there. Like it's only halfway. You only have halfway in your juice, in your cup or whatever. Cause like I swear I don't be thinking about I don't be thinking about the negative, or I don't think about just the negative or just the positive. I think about both sides of the story. This will happen if I don't do that, but this will happen if I do that. So, when people say, what do you look at the cup as half empty, half full? I just look at it as half. But I swear, I was just thinking to myself, like, I be really trying to figure out all the choices that I made, all the choices that I made. Why did I have to make them? Because I told myself, like, I feel like my weight really held me back, but also what also held me back was me thinking that something was going to fall in my lap. As y'all know, I'm diagnosed with schizophrenic, but of course I think it's God. So the schizophrenic or whatever, at first, when it first happened, when I first started hearing voices, I thought that my family was having cameras everywhere, and I thought that they were setting me up like for a TV show or some shit like that. Like they were just like, I just felt like cameras was in my car, cameras was in the bathroom while I was taking showers and stuff, because the voices would say things that only I would know, like random stuff, like you got hair or under your arms or something like that, or you need to shave. It was just weird stuff, nasty stuff. And I don't think I can talk about it strictly on YouTube because it's so nasty, the stuff that they say. But, they call me ugly. They say, ooh, you taking a shower. They say, ooh, your booty cheek just moved. Stuff like that. Like, little stuff that only I would know. And, the voices sound like thoughts. And they also sound like it's coming from my TV. It sounds like it's coming from people. It sounds like it's coming from everybody. And, like, even items like water and, like... Yeah, it's just crazy, y'all. But anyways, I was thinking that my parents and my family was setting me up. They had cameras all around me, following me everywhere, and all this other stuff. But then, and so maybe about 5 years. It took me at least 5 years to get over the fact that it wasn't my family, that it was God. Like, it took me a good, well, I kind of knew it was God too, but I also blame my family. Instead of just saying it was God or whatever, I blame my family as well. So it took about a good 5 years to get over that. When I had my daughter, okay, when I was living in Vicksburg, I thought it was my family a little bit. And then, like, when I had my daughter, you know, it just clicked. Like, it was God. Like, it just clicked. I don't know. Something clicked. And anyways, so, yeah. So, when I had my daughter, I literally, like, everything was fine until postpartum. And I was still kind of hoping that it was gonna stop. You know, the voices was gonna stop. So I did have an episode when I had my daughter, and I was like, she gonna be talking about me and all this other stuff, and I was upset because I thought that my daughter was like, I wanted it to end because I thought that my daughter was gonna be talking about me. So I went to a home, and I call it home. It's really a mental place, but I call it a home. And, you know, it clicked that this is never going to end. And this is a forever life thing. This is not just because. This is God's mission. This is God's doing. Like, this is what God wants me to do. So it's like I had to understand that. And yeah, so I said all that just to say that, you know, stuff is not going to fall into your lap even if you want it to. Even if God chose you, you know, stuff is just not going to fall in your lap. And I was hoping that everything was going to stop. And that's where my choices came in. Because I was hoping that one day my family would be like, ha ha, we tricked you. Now it's over. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking that it was going to fall out in my lap. And that I was going to be automatically rich. And I was going to automatically have fans and all this other stuff. But it's like, no, baby girl, you have to do that yourself. And I didn't realize that until the year of 2023. And this happened in 2020 or 2019, 2020, 2019. So 2020, 21, 2, 3. So about 3 years, 3 to 4 years, I didn't understand. I was thinking everything was going to drop in my lap. But when I had my daughter, like I said, you know what? This is not a drop in the lap type of situation. This is a forever life situation. These voices are going to be with me for life. And my mom always says that when the voices stop, you know God is, you know, really, you know, real or whatever. Because, I mean, I don't say that I don't believe in God. I just believe that, God is within us. Yes, I feel like he's everything. I feel like he's everybody. I feel like he's nature. He's the sunlight. He's the sky. He's the water. He is me. He is you. He is us. He is we. He is us. He is us all. God is all of us. Connected. All of us. That's what I believe. I don't believe that there's a man in the sky just like saying, she's sinning. She's going to hell. He's going to hell. I don't think nobody going to hell, to be honest. I don't even think hell exists. I think that we all die and we return back to God, which is everything. We become a frequency. We become a current. We become, you know, just air, light, life. I can't explain it, but I didn't get it from a book nowhere. Didn't nobody teach me that. I just literally think that's what it is. And I hear people on TikTok saying that God is a consciousness and stuff like that. Okay, that's cool too, but I just believe that God is all of us. In all of us, in everything, nature, everything. He's all of us. He's everything. So, but anyways, so yeah, but I was just saying, I just wanted to come here and say that nothing's gonna fall in your lap, okay? You're gonna have to grind and do it yourself, And if you're going through something and you wish it would end, it's probably not going to end. You probably just have to grow out of it. You probably have to get up and stop being a little sissy. And if you're a girl, yes, you can't be no sissy. You gotta boss up and understand that you have to work hard and you gotta do what you gotta do to get to where you're supposed to go. Okay? And I also want to add, that's why you should look at the cup, both spectrums. Have empty and have full. So you can make better choices with your life. But peace. Love y'all.